Welcome, everyone, to a brand new episode of the Sports Ramble podcast. And it's just me and Garrett today because Matthew is out. Matthew's missing. Where's Matthew? In Florida for a hockey tournament. But it's all good. It's all love. What's still going to be me and Garrett tackling today with all sports news. So, what happened yesterday? We had the Women's National Championship game, where UConn put a whooping on South Carolina. It was bad. Garrett, what's your take on the game yesterday and what happened?
I don't know if I'd even call it a game, honestly. The first half, South Carolina kept up with them, and then UConn just kind of took off in the third quarter. We were talking about it before the podcast, but UConn used to be a dynasty, and then they fell. Other teams started getting up to their level. LSU, South Carolina, some other teams, UCLA, now Iowa. Yeah, Iowa for a season when they had Caitlin Clark. But UConn has returned to their reign as the dynasty, at least for this year. We'll see if it continues with a couple of people leaving. But this class has been here for a while. Beckers has, Ozzy, AZ, however you say your name, Fudd has been as well. But they haven't all been healthy at the same time at the right time in March. But this year they were. And so we saw what happens when you have a healthy team. And it's like what the Mavericks could have been if everybody was healthy. In that right, Troy?
You know what? Okay, so whenever it comes to...
Anyways, let's keep it on the women's basketball. What do you think of, Troy?
Okay, here's the thing. Whenever it comes to, well, like you said, all about health at the right time. And UConn was healthy at the right time. And UConn, very good defensive team. And it showed. In the third quarter, they pretty much exploded against South Carolina. They outscored them by 10 points. It was 26-16. That's when they started getting ahead. And you saw on the sidelines whenever they panned the camera to Coach Dawn, she was going through it. She was like, "What am I gonna do?" Like it was like she was like dang near in tears. Like she was frustrated and how good the defense was on UConn. And Carolina couldn't do nothing. All like the top scorers, like the whole starter team, they were shooting like 2 for 7, 1 for 7. It was like they were making it difficult for South Carolina, and that gives props to the whole coaching staff for UConn. And let's just hope that it continues to next season. Whenever because they're losing a bunch of players. Paige is going to the draft, possibly the number one overall pick, going to Dallas. Hopefully she gets a ring in Dallas. Hopefully I don't want to change the subject going to Dallas manner. But what UConn showed that UConn is still the team to beat for women's college basketball. And it just goes to show, like, no matter the name, you still got to play. Because South Carolina, they were still like, oh, we're still that team. We just got to step on the court and it's game over. Nope. That did not happen. They got whooped.
They did. It's nice to see some parity. It's kind of like in the NFL too, right? You don't want to see the Chiefs getting a three-peat. You just want some parity in the championship share, and that's kind of like what it is here. At least I don't want to see South Carolina winning it a third time again. I understand what she's yeah, right. What she's built is amazing. Like she's done a great job coaching, bringing South Carolina up out of the ashes. But I think it's just nice to see another person win it for sure.
Speaking on face the franchise kind of thing, whenever it comes to like college basketball, like when you think of college basketball, you think Duke, Kentucky. A chance to go to the national championship. But all they did was just choke. It was bad. Because Houston beat Duke 70-67. And while Duke was up 57-61 with 37 seconds left, all he had to do was inbound the ball and make the free throw. Nope,
Mhm.
they had the basketball for like the last 30 seconds. Inbounder fumbled, like he threw it to straight to Houston. Houston made a dunk, and then they missed their free throw, which that didn't help at all. You gotta make
Yeah,
your free throws.
you
So
do. Free throws are so important, especially at that stage of the game, and you get paid how much. Like you're a great basketball player. You can dunk. You can shoot a three. That's fine. But if you can't make your free throws, then come on, bro. What are you doing? You got to make them all. Do it all.
especially in this time of year, because like
Right.
whenever it comes down to it, it's all about free throws, all about the little things. It's all about the little things, all little it's like take a deep breath and then shoot and like use your legs. it's
Yep.
all about the follow
Um,
through. It's all like use your legs, breathe, and then it'll go
yeah.
down. But nope.
I don't know
So
if you saw Kelvin Sampson's interview at the end of the game, uh,
no, I did not.
but
No. That
so
was the one game I didn't catch. I'm aggravated. Should.
one of his quotes was we we went 34-4, 36-4, something like that. In the Big 12, we didn't play in the tiny Toodle Poodle league or whatever, and so he basically calling out the ACC for being a soft basketball league after beating Duke. I think that was my favorite part of the game because
Here's the
it's
thing.
right.
He's not wrong. He's
Yeah.
not wrong.
Mhm. The ACC is a soft conference. The Big 12 is still. I understand the SEC had a great year. They did. They had 16, 17 teams in the tournament. But the Big 12 is still the top dog
Yep.
in
Top
basketball until proven otherwise.
because we got the like two SEC teams, Auburn and Florida, going at it. Auburn had a chance. Same with Duke. They had a chance to win, but they choked. And Walter Clayton, he's a dog.
Dog.
He's a hooper. And this just goes to show, like, you just got to play for 40 minutes. You can't play for a half. You got to play the whole 40 minutes of the game. And that just goes down too. It's all about the little details, little like it's all about execution like towards the end of the game. And I'm not gonna like just sugarcoat it, but the shots that Walter Clayton was making, that's a hooper right there. He's like people were comparing him like, oh, he's another like Steph Curry type of player. I was like, you know what? I'm not gonna lie to you. Yeah, because the way like he was moving without the ball, the way he was shot making, like he was shooting like fading away corner three, nothing but net. This just like goes to show like how talented he is and how talented this generation of kids are in college. Because like we forgot to talk about Cooper Flag, the projected number one overall pick. He had a solid game, and just it just sucks that like this might be his last time playing in a Duke uniform unless he decides to stay, which
I don't see
I
that at
don't think
all.
so. This NIL tells him like, "Hey man, money bags."
Pays him more than the NBA could. That would be insane. But
that
it's getting to that point
that'll
though. It
change
really is.
if NIL does that, and Cooper Flag decides to stay another year. You know how many? You know how much that's gonna affect the NBA? It's gonna affect. It's gonna affect a lot of teams
Yeah.
because everyone's like, capture. Let's capture the flag. Let's tank for the rest of
Capture
the
the flag.
season.
That was good. That was good.
And how every like bottom team like New Orleans, Utah, Brooklyn, all like the lottery teams they're looking for. I was like, well, let's wait for Cooper Flag at any time now. And then like and if he decides to stay, it's kind of pointless
Right.
to like
What's the point
tank.
of the lottery? Yeah. What's
Yeah,
the
what's the point of the
point?
lottery if the projected number one overall pick decides to stay,
Hmm.
and now every team that tanked, they just lost the season.
Yep.
So it's
It,
pretty much like, well, I think Cooper's gonna at least I think he's gonna commit to the draft. I don't know.
yeah,
What do you
he's
think?
gone.
Do you think he's
There's
gonna?
no way. The only way that he would stay is if Duke or some other endorsements paid him an exorbitant, whatever that word is, amount of money
Exorbitant? Yeah,
not
I know what you mean.
to not go. That's the only way because the NBA money is still NBA money. It's a lot, and especially number one overall pick. That he'd be living out his dream. Like that's every guy's basketball
Every
player's dream.
kid, every
Still number
every
one
kid who played
overall.
in basketball. Yeah,
But if Duke pays him a crap ton of money, then I can totally see him staying. But I don't see that happening. I think he's gone. I think if he was projected lower, then sure. But the because he's number one, I think he'll go. And but it's funny. I saw the other day, Colin Gillespie, who I'm not sure what team he plays for, but he's in college. His brother is in the NBA, and he's making Colin is in college is making double what his brother is making in the NBA. And so like we're getting
see,
to a point college athletes it doesn't make sense for them to go to the NBA until they sharpen their skills and gotten as good as they can in college and then go into the next level, which is
here's my thing. Because I'm gonna throw in Bronny for an example. Bronny at the time was not ready, at all. He was just thrown in and peer pressure to commit because everyone was like, "Oh my gosh, we don't know if LeBron's gonna retire. This is this is box office money if LeBron and Bronny's play at the same time and on the same court. So that's box office money for the NBA. So for that to happen, and the other reason why, because think about it, once LeBron retires, and the way Bronny's been playing, he's been improving a lot. If Bronny didn't commit to the draft and played another season at USC, he probably would be a top 5, top 10 projected overall pick in this year's draft.
yeah.
Because if you think about it, Bronny has talent. He just has to be able to play into it and not get out of his head.
Mm-hmm.
Because he was in his head last year. It was bad.
Well, and I think part of that is the spotlight that's been placed on him, whether he likes it or not. He's LeBron's son, and he's gonna have that spotlight placed on him. I mean, you look at any celebrity that has a son or daughter that goes into the same profession as their dad, their mom, the same pressure is put on them. But I think with LeBron and Bronny, it's even more because LeBron is arguably the greatest basketball player that ever lived. Um, and and obviously we're gonna put all this pressure on his son because his son's the exact same player as LeBron because that makes sense. Like, no, it doesn't. I think that the pressure that he has on him, it's a lot, but he's dealt with it really well. Probably better than most people can. And you're right, he's improved so much, and I think that it'll just continue to be that way, and he'll be around for a while longer, in my opinion.
Because Bronny, I want Bronny to succeed in the NBA, but till LeBron retires, Bronny is just gonna be labeled as LeBron's son.
Yeah.
I want Bronny to be his own player. Same with Bryce whenever he gets drafted. I
Mhm.
want the LeBron label to not be on Bronny because it's only gonna put more pressure on him because he can be just like a Drew Holiday type of player because he's not as tall as LeBron.
Mhm.
6'4", 6'5". He can be a guard, a two-way guard who can he's really athletic and can also guard from full court, guard you
Mhm.
from full court. So the potential of being a two-way guard is there, and a bunch of teams need that.
Mhm. I
So it
agree.
just goes to show how talented he is.
Yeah, the talent's still there. The sport genes are there. It's just the experience that LeBron has, obviously being in the league for 20 plus years. He's going to be better, and LeBron, he's not going to be as good as his dad, not yet. But there will be a time where that skill will match what people's expectations were. It just takes time. It does. LeBron is just a rare case where all the expectations that were on him, he met all of them. I feel like coming out of high school, going into the NBA, that's just who he was. Like he was built. He got big quick, and he just ran with the expectations and dealt with the spotlight really well. Dealt with the face of the league.
Oh yeah, because whenever the set of adversity, whenever he lost to the Mavericks in 2011, that's when he always thanks the Mavericks for this because that changed him mentally as a player. Because if he would have in 2011, LeBron might not be the same player because that changed his mental as a player. So okay, I gotta work harder. I gotta work smarter. I gotta do this. I gotta go extra hard to get to this next level. And guess what? He went back to back 2 seasons, and then he won another ring, and then another ring. So that just goes to show, it just takes one bad season to turn it
Yeah,
around.
yeah, yeah. He's built a dynasty and for himself, and like I think I think going back to the college talk, the Houston's very close to building themselves a dynasty as well. The work that Kelvin Sampson has done to turn that team into a tough defensive minded team, it's just amazing. And defense wins championships. That's not just a random saying.
Yep.
That it really does. And we saw that on display in the Final Four. And I think we'll see it again tonight. Um, but I guess with that, Trey, who do you have winning for that?
I got my vote on Houston. University of Houston is gonna take it home tonight, and
Yeah.
they're gonna set. They're gonna start. This is the start of a new era of basketball in Houston. It's gonna
Mm-hmm.
be it's gonna be interesting. But I got Houston probably by. It's gonna be a close game though. No, not gonna be a blowout. It's gonna be a
I
close
agree.
game. Houston's gonna win by probably 5 or 6.
Mm-hmm. Close, low scoring game. I think it'll
Yes,
be.
it's gonna be low scoring unless Walter Clayton goes berserk.
Yeah. Yeah.
The only thing, because the key for Houston is to play their game. Don't play
Yep.
Florida's game.
Yep.
If they play slow pace and like a defensive game, they're going to win this for sure. But if they play Florida's game, they're probably going to lose.
Mm-hmm.
Whenever I say Florida's game, Florida's most likely mostly offense oriented,
Fast pace.
and Houston's more focused on defense.
Yep.
So if Houston makes this a defensive game, I like their chances on winning this game. Winning a title in University of Houston.
Yeah. I'm with you. I'm with you there. I think Houston will bring it home for the state of Texas.
Finally.
And it's I just want to put out there. I saw a stat. The University of Texas hasn't won a major national championship in a while, and so is A&M. So the so-called powerhouses of Texas, maybe
They
not so
haven't won
much.
nothing. They
Maybe
haven't
not so
won
much.
anything.
That's right. Houston's in the championship now. Baylor won it in 21. TCU was in the national championship. Where's UT?
Where's
Where
you?
they at? Where they at?
Where the horns at? Where the horns at? Where the
I
Aggies at?
know.
Gig 'em? No, we ain't gig 'em nothing. That's
They got the
that's
money,
why I'm
but
an
that don't
OU
mean that.
fan. We hold it down
Hey,
over here.
huh, you had a fun season.
No, when we
Basketball,
did not.
football. Oh
Football
man,
wise, no, we did not. Basketball
but you beat
wise,
Bama.
we beat Bama. Hey, we beat Bama. Hey, let's put on a banner. We beat Bama.
Yeah, there you go. That's the
But Bama
benchmark.
wasn't really that good that year though. So hey, I take the
Yeah,
win though. I take it.
I
But
agree.
speaking on that, let's switch course. We're going to the NBA because the playoffs start in 2 weeks, and both Eastern and Western conferences they're tied. Like it's really close, especially in the West, because the West from 3 to 8 is like you can't go on a losing streak right now. You got to win, and the key. And the Lakers are in the driving seat right now.
Mm-hmm.
Mind you, the Lakers put a whooping on OKC yesterday. It was 126-99. And Luca, now I'm about to get depressed now. He played great.
As usual.
And he was doing his thing and remind everyone in OKC, like, remember who I am. I ain't washed. Those people that think I'm washed, I'm not washed. I just had really bad injury like this year, and people forget who I am. People gotta realize they gotta stop downing Luka because one come playoff time, I've seen it. Everyone's seen what Luka can do in playoffs, and
Mm-hmm.
then now like the two most powerful players come playoff times are on the same team.
Yeah,
Yep,
carrying
LeBron and
Dallas.
Luka. And
He carried
Dallas,
Dallas single-handedly to the promised land, and he doesn't need to do all that work now. He can just
and,
kind of help.
and Dallas is sitting here broken in the 10th seed. Like, hey guys, how you doing? Everyone looking
Yeah.
down at Dallas like, hey guys. Yeah,
So
everyone
let me read
they're on
off
the 10th seed while
read
the
off
Lakers
the
on the third
standings
seed.
that you were referring to, Trey. So LA, you're right, they're at 48 wins. Denver 47, and then 5 through 8 are all at 46. So the Clippers, the Warriors, the Timberwolves, and the Grizzlies are all at 46 wins. So from 3 to 8, 2 wins separate the bottom from
Yes.
8 to 3, which is insane that it's that close.
Mm-hmm.
But anything can happen. It's the playoffs.
Yes, because here's my thing. Here's because the Clippers surprised pretty much everyone this year. Because we thought, well, Harden's probably gonna fall off. Kawhi's not gonna be back, and they're probably gonna be up like under 500. So no need to bring him back. But they were over 500 whenever Kawhi came back, and Kawhi's been different this year. I don't know what that boy did in the offseason. They probably did put some new like animatronic in his leg, his freaking robot.
Yeah.
But hey, the Clippers are still the Clippers from last year. They're still gonna be a tough out, no matter what seed they are. And if they do play Denver, this is gonna hurt everyone who's a Denver fan. I can see the Clippers beating Denver based off the depth.
Mm-hmm.
And this goes to my other question. Can Denver contend with their depth?
It'll be difficult. But if Jokic can put up what was it that game that he did like 30 20 20 something like that. If he can put
It
up
was
those
60.
60, okay. If he can put up those numbers consistently, which he has been, I mean, I think they have a chance. But if he's not on his A+ game, and Jamal Murray and the other star players aren't, then I don't think so. I mean, there's no way that you can win without depth in the NBA, especially when you look at the Lakers. They're very
Yeah.
deep, and they have no problem going. I mean, when you have Austin Reeves as a sixth option, he start anywhere else. Uh, Correct me if I'm wrong. He's not a starter, correct?
Austin Reeves, oh yeah, he started.
Yeah.
He's the third.
Oh, is he a starter?
Yeah, he's the starter. No, he's the
Oh,
starter. You're
okay.
good. You're good. You're
My
good.
fault. My fault.
No, because that's what makes the Luca and AD trade look so foolish on the Mavericks end. Because we thought if we got AD, we should have gotten Austin as well. Because
Mhm.
Luca Austin Reeves been hooping, and this is as a third option too. Because Luca's the first option, LeBron is the second option, and then Austin Reeves is the third option. That just goes to show, like, man, this team is gonna be a tough out, and they're
Yep.
good, and they're guess what? They're better defensively now, and this
Mhm.
is without AD, and this is like everyone's like, what's the switch?
Yeah.
It's all because they got healthy.
Mhm.
Jar- Jared Vanderbilt, he's back, and that was the main reason why they went on that run 2 years ago. He was healthy, and he was guarding Steph Curry in that Western Conference semifinal matchup for his life. Like his life
Health
depend on it.
health is everything
And
in
it
the
was
playoffs.
what's up?
Health is everything in the playoffs. I think
Yep.
it's so important to be at
Most
your
important.
top peak health during that time.
And this was what aggravates me. I'm going back to the last year's playoffs whenever the Mavericks went on that run. Luca was you saw how Luca was. Luca was bandaged up,
Hmm.
broke like fractured rib almost,
Yep.
and going through it, his knees were busted, and they were expecting him to like play at full like full health.
Yeah. And
So and then go on, Garrett. My bad.
yeah, I was gonna say you mentioned like there's a picture out there that's of him in that get up with all of his bandages and on his crutches, and then he goes out and drops what 40 probably the next day. It's crazy, but you're right. They were expecting him to be at his maximum health in that time.
But you can't
Can't.
because think about it. If we would have had Luca, this is I think this is like December and January. Luca, that's when like he had headband Luca,
Mhm.
and this I'm not saying like he was skinny, but he was like about to be win MVP that year. He got robbed, but last year, but he was like probably the best player in the world or in the league at the time.
Mhm.
And everyone was like, "What happened to this Luca? He just got hurt."
Yeah.
That's pretty much it. It's not about the weight.
Mhm.
He just got hurt. His knees got messed up, and everyone's saying like, "Oh, it's the weight because that's why his knees are messed up." It's not. It's I that's like the most like I hate that excuse like oh like he's fat. He's not fat. Okay? It's just like his muscle weight.
Yeah.
And that's the thing like you can't no one the reason why he's compared a lot because he's just bulky
Mhm.
and you can't really slim that down.
Right.
It's going to look funny if he slims down. And then guess what? His game is going to be altered if he slims down. He posts people up. That's his game.
Yeah.
And if
And
the what's up?
I was
What's
gonna
it,
say,
Garrett?
yeah, it's not the way you can't expect a guy going 40 minutes, or I guess 48 minutes in the NBA a night to to not show some signs of it. We're human. Like we break down. We can't do that. Even LeBron doesn't do that. I mean, he puts millions of dollars into his body every single year to upkeep it, but he doesn't play 48 minutes a night. I mean, I'm sure there were times when he did, but he can't do that anymore. But even he would get subbed out. Like yeah, it's a difficult situation that Luca was put in last year.
Because like here's the thing, we I'm glad we made the finals that year. I'm really am. But it was like one of those things where it was like we were all shell shocked because the Celtics been there before. We haven't. Kyrie's been there, but Kyrie wasn't really there. He was there, but boy wasn't like he didn't play good at all. It sucks because the one game Kyrie played good in, everyone holds this game accountable to Luka because that's the one game Luka played terrible.
Ah,
And it was game 3, and everyone goes back, and that's when Brian Windhurst said, "Oh, went on a tangent about Luka," and I was like, "Oh, this is why you gotta stay in shape, like
mhm.
all that stuff." Like, bro,
He's
he's
not
doing
out
the
of shape.
best. Like, what do you want him to do?
Yeah,
Because he did his best in game 1 and game 2. I know, like, yes, the defense was abysmal in the finals for Luka. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. It was bad, but bro was probably going through it body wise. He was still wanting to play. If it was like a regular season game, he probably wouldn't have played like
yeah,
at all.
right. But since it was the playoffs, he was willing to put his body on the line to get his team to where it needs to be.
Yep. And then the other thing, this is probably gonna stop. Luka ain't gonna like it though, but he plays overseas during the off season, and he plays before his like Slovenia.
Mhm.
And I think for like FIBA, I think FIBA qualifiers are this year. I believe I might be either this year or next year.
I think it's alternating from the Olympics.
The Olympics, okay, all right,
So I think it's next year because they had
next
it
year. Got you, got you,
last
got you.
year. Yeah.
But it's one of those things like Luca got to understand that yes, we want you to play,
Mhm.
but second of all, we don't want you getting hurt
Mhm.
because you got to get some rest. And the reason why, and then whenever that boy rests. And that's how I was like, oh, why he gained so much weight? Because boy ain't going nowhere and he's just chilling.
He's playing Call of Duty on the couch.
He playing Call of Duty on the couch, just chilling. I was like, and well, it didn't help that he was in Texas of all places. In Dallas, it was like the food's good and everything. And that's why everyone was like bashing Zion, saying, like, boy, why did he
Yep.
gain so much weight? Have you been to New Orleans? I will gain that much weight too. The
Yep.
the jambalaya is good. Seafood,
Everything down there.
everything's good over there, down there. But I don't look. But besides the fact, it's just the whole like the body weight thing is so like that's such a wasted argument because look at Jokic,
Oh yeah. Exactly.
so unathletic, but still got how many MVPs?
And how many he should have? That's another question. He's not going to win it this year.
I know, he ain't gonna win like the
Unfortunately,
MVP
he
or
should. He should
the
win
MVP.
MVP this year. Look at what he's doing. He
He
I think we
should.
said I think we've said it before. He's the best offensive center we've probably ever seen, just based on
Shaq.
what he's doing. Yeah, well, but Shaq didn't have the assists.
Because here's
At
the
least I don't
thing.
think he had the rebounds and points.
This is what's gonna kill Denver. And this is what I hope the NBA media starts to see. If they put that man Jokic in a pick and roll, and this is what's gonna if the Lakers see Denver in the playoffs, the Lakers are gonna win. Or Golden State play them, Denver in the playoffs, Golden State's gonna win. That pick and roll is gonna eat Jokic alive. So the key for Denver on defense, either go zone or try to hedge and make Jokic's life easier. Because if you play man to man and let Jokic go up against Steph, you know what that boy Steph is gonna do?
He's gonna do to
in the year
what
2025.
Luca did to Rudy Gobert or
Yes, it's
Kyrie
gonna be 10 times
to Rudy
worse.
Gobert. Yeah, it is.
But here's the thing: there's so much like parity when it comes to the Western Conference because there's like no clear winner. Because I don't know who's gonna win the Western Conference. The Eastern Conference, Boston, Cleveland.
Yep.
New York, if they get lucky.
New York,
If they get
they're overworking their starters, man.
that's
They
that's why
they asked
Thibodeau got to go. That's why Thibodeau got to go. That's why I did not like him whenever what he did to Derrick Rose. I'm
yeah.
so aggravated to this day what that man did. He had no reason to have that boy in with like a minute left, and Derrick Rose. I was like, if I had a time machine, I would have called
Take him out.
timeout for Thibodeau. I'm like, that boy out of here
Yeah,
and
he's still
sit
be
him on the
dominating.
bench because Derrick Rose probably would be. He probably won MVP. And what's crazy, Steph probably would have to that stardom. Derrick Rose didn't get hurt. Whenever I say that, um, people like compare point guards, like how like they did back in the day, like CP3 and Darren Williams, who's the top guards. And then whenever Derrick Rose got hurt and got like took shadow to the shadow realm on about, it was who's the best point guard? Westbrook, Curry, Kyrie, and then there's is forgotten.
Yeah.
Except for that one season like in 2014, 2015 where he played majority of the games, then he got hurt again. It's like it sucks that like Derrick Rose like he was there.
Yeah, he was.
He was still there. He's still there, folks. Like don't forget about him. But that's
But
why Thibodeau got to go. He's overworking the starters for no
yeah,
reason.
yeah.
And I remember I forgot what was that one game that Jalen Brunson's dad had to say like, "Hey, like take the starters out."
Yeah.
I'm like, what are you trying to prove to play your starters for that long? You know, like why?
It's like he thinks in his head. Like, granted, your starters are going to be better than your bench players most times, but they won't be better than your bench players if they get hurt. So
Yep.
you have to have a balance there for sure. Some people just
Like
win way
for
too long.
experience wise,
Right.
they had to have experience on
You
the
can't expect your
court.
bench players to get better if they don't play.
Yep. And it just goes to show, like, look what happened last year with OG, his hamstring. That got to go with playing too long.
Yep. Right. It's
And
not
then
just a coincidence.
it's not just a coincidence. It's like it's more like stop playing them too long. Even like Mikal Bridges, of all people, are saying like, hey, he has to dial back on the minutes play.
Yeah.
And
This is a guy
playing the
that's
whole
never
like
missed.
he never missed the game. If he's telling you like chill with the minutes,
Yeah.
chill with the minutes.
Right.
And that's pretty much gonna like be the next Achilles heel. Yep, and then it's gonna be Cleveland and Boston.
Yep.
And I got Boston
Really,
in 7. I'm sorry, Cleveland. I'm sorry.
for
And
Cleveland,
then
I really hope they win. I really do.
I hope they win too.
They haven't been able to show they haven't been able to consistently show that they can beat the Celtics. They beat them once this season.
Oh no, they beat them twice. They beat them
Twice, okay.
I remember that because they were down 25-3.
Oh, and they came back.
And they came back and won. I was like surprised how they pulled that off.
Yeah,
I was like,
we'll see. We will see the winner of that one for sure.
Because who I got in the Western Conference? Well, who you got in the Western Conference, Garrett?
Man, that's such a tough question. I'm gonna go with the Thunder, just because of where they are right now and how good they've been, I think they can keep it up. Um, we talked about as well before, like they're younger, yes, so they have less experience. So in like the closer games, the older experience went out, but they're also younger, which means they have ideally more energy, and they can come out and play longer, and play for a longer series than maybe older teams. So I'm gonna go OKC Cleveland. Just I want to see it. I think it'd be cool to see.
You know what? Good. That'd be good parody for the league, and it'll like go show like who it'll show like for fans like who are the true NBA fans in this world.
Hmm.
Because if you want to watch good basketball, watch that. Cause that's good basketball right there.
Yeah, it is.
And like
What's going on?
the perfect like because they both teams play two bigs at the same time, and it just goes to show like the position is not just like another forward. Whenever I
Hmm.
say a forward, not like a 6'7" dude, he's 6'10", 6'9", 6'10" and up. And I'm glad Cleveland and OKC and the Mavericks are kind of bringing that back with a too big lineup. Nothing,
Yeah.
no one's gonna be able to guard that.
Hmm.
It's gonna make it tough. But who I got coming out? Dang,
Tough question.
what's that? What's that Shannon Sharp saying? OKC, KFC. I got 3. Lakers in 5. I
Yeah.
got Lakers going.
Hmm.
No, I'm in all serious. No,
That's good.
I got in all serious. No, though, but I do see the Lakers pulling it out.
LeBron
And
after his title.
here's the thing: if the Lakers, LeBron's retiring, he gone, he done.
He should
I
be.
believe so. I believe in my heart that he's probably most likely going to retire if they do win this year. If
Yeah.
it's either this year or next year.
Or also have an Aaron Rodgers story arc where he's searching for that last championship, but he can never get it.
Oh God!
You got
Now he's
you got
gonna
to
be
end on a
like
high note.
45, and he's gonna be like old, probably like with a gray beard, probably playing with Bryce and Bronny. We're like,
Oh man.
oh God, I can low key see it, and like he's crazy enough to do it too. That's the crazy part.
Yeah.
But I got my prediction. I got Lakers going probably against the Celtics, and the reason why I did the money signs because Celtics, Lakers,
Yeah.
two most
Historic
like historic
rivalry.
rivalry might be like back.
Hmm.
Because think about it. Luka played Boston in the finals last year, lost.
Yep.
Now, Lakers versus different Laker team versus Boston.
Hmm. Redemptive arc for Luca.
Redemption arc might be there, but the who I think is gonna win that matchup, TBD. Because I don't know. Because we don't know because a bunch of stuff can happen, and then got like just anything can happen from now from
Mhm.
like from right now to June.
Yeah. LeBron gets hurt. Luca goes down. Doesn't come back.
Hey man, don't put that in the air. Hey man, easy,
Let's speak it into
easy.
existence.
But yeah, it's just like injuries happen. God forbid any of those happen. I wish if if there's a healthy playoff, this probably be one of the one for the books
Yeah.
playoff wise.
Hopefully.
Because the Eastern Conference, like I don't care about the record for like the 7th or 8th seed.
Mhm.
Atlanta and Orlando, they're still good. They just were unhealthy. Everyone was hurt. Now with everyone healthy, because low key, Cleveland and Orlando might be starting a little rivalry because they played last year,
They did.
and Orlando's have something to say. Like, hey, we're still here.
Yep. Orlando beat him twice. They beat him one.
They beat them three
I know they beat him
times
3 times. It was a
in the
7
in
game series.
the series, and then they choked because Orlando was gonna win. Then it sucks because Paulo was the only one that showed up in the game seven.
He's
Yeah,
solo.
then because the second Boston and the seventh seed is Atlanta, and Atlanta is scary too. Don't sleep on Atlanta because Atlanta can wake up and eat y'all.
We'll
All
see.
I'm
Trae
saying.
Young could go God mode.
And then Detroit is going to surprise a bunch of people this year. Surprise everyone.
Mm-hmm.
And then Milwaukee, for them, that's a question mark. And that just here's my thing about Milwaukee. Milwaukee can two things can happen. Giannis goes berserk and goes on like a LeBron to 2018 kind of run, beats Cleveland, and goes to the finals, but probably loses. Or they might win. Just Giannis just has to go. What you say, God mode, which
Really,
and people gotta pretty much like you gotta go like
yeah.
MVP mode.
It's really unfortunate that the Giannis Dame thing didn't turn out how many people thought it might
It's
have.
not that. I'm sorry to interrupt, but it's not that. Unfortunately, it's the coach. It's Doc.
Yep.
It's Doc Rivers.
The guy they fired or Mike Budenholzer. He's coaching and he's successful somewhere, right? I think I remember seeing
Adrian
that.
Griffin. Yeah, it was
Was it?
Adrian Griffin.
Okay.
Yeah, and he was doing good. They were the second seed whenever he got
That's right.
fired,
That's right. That's right.
and everyone was like,
Why'd they fire him?
"Why?"
Same thing with
Come to
the
find.
Grizzlies.
You know why they did? You know why they did fire him? Because he was about to cut Giannis. Because who? There was a wasted roster spot because he was a cheerleader.
Uh-huh. But they did the same thing with the Grizzlies coach too. They were fourth in the conference, fifth, and then they just fired him, cut him loose.
Yeah, that's the other thing. That's the crazy part. That's just biting too much they can chew
Yep.
on that, and that's why Memphis is probably that's why Memphis hasn't won a championship and probably not going to see a championship in a long time because they keep on changing, they keep on finding the right teams
Mm-hmm.
and the right coach, and to find the coach, and then the whole team just like collapse, and then key players get traded, and then rebuild again,
Yep.
and then that's
Right.
a whole repeat.
Memphis hasn't been able to build and
Yeah,
stay consistent, unfortunately.
but yeah, I know we passed our time. It's 40. It's about to be 49 minutes, but that's all for today on this podcast. Matthew, you were truly missed today, but Matthew's gonna be back. Matthew's gonna be back for the next episode. He did tell me that.
Mm-hmm.
But with that, I'm Trey, and that's Garrett right there. And we'll see you next time.